Hey everyone, this is Lacey. This is like the fourth time I've tried to do this because my computer is acting up. But I decided I tried to do my blog post as video this time. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we'll see. Um, I'm so sorry that this has taken so long for me to get a blog posted. We got sick like I think Thursday or Friday when we were at Family Week, and we've been sick ever since then. And it's horrible. I feel horrible. Horrible. But we're managing to get through. I just started doing schoolwork yesterday and still have not started doing full days of schoolwork. So hopefully I'll be able to get that back in going soon. But anyway, Family Week was a lot of fun. I loved it. There was over 600 people there, and it was so amazing just to be able to see all of these hundreds and hundreds of people who believe the same way that you do. We had some differences, like should women wear tzitzits, when's the new moon, but aside from all of that, we mainly had like the same beliefs and the same love and passion for Yahweh, and so that was really neat. I loved that. We had a lot of really good teachings by Mr. Lars Emerson, Mr. Lars Emerson and his son John. Mr. Waller did some teachings. Mr. Collier did some teachings, and there was just several other teachings. There was one time that the women split off from the men, and the women got to talk about purity. I'm not sure what the men talked about because I wasn't there. But the women got to talk about purity, and I loved it. It helped me so much. Helped me learn how to better guard my heart and prepare myself for my future husband, if I'm even going to have a future husband. And so that was really neat. And they had like some women who would go up and give their testimonies, and I went up and I cried and all that, but it was such a blessing, and I got to meet so many women and young women who have just helped me so much in my walk, and I loved it. There was a wedding feast. Nate Waller and Katie Hilton, they got married, and we weren't there for the wedding because it was before we got there. Why we weren't there, that was really stupid. But we weren't there for the wedding, but we got to go to the wedding feast, and the wedding feast was beautiful. Sorry. It was right on the lake, and they had lights strung, and it was just so beautiful. I loved it, and they got to dance, and like everybody got to dance, like they did the war dance, and we got to do the Virginia Reel and things like that, and it was so much fun. My dad and I helped serve, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. They also had this thing in the morning. It's called Tabernacle of David, and anybody who wanted to could come up. If you were a singer or if you were a musician, you could come up on the stage, and they ended up having so many musicians that they had some musicians off, actually most of the musicians off the stage. The stage wasn't that big, but it was led by Braden Waller, and they had a girls choir and a guys choir, and it was beautiful. Such a wonderful time. It was definitely my favorite time. Probably that and the wedding feast were my favorite parts of Family Week, and I loved Tabernacles of David because you were up there on stage. I think I sang every time we had Tabernacle of David except for once, and I ended up losing my voice because of it, but I don't care because it was amazing. And like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just so amazing being up there, and you hear all these voices in unison. We were singing different psalms, and I think one time we sang like Revelation, something out of Revelations, and it was beautiful just hearing all these different voices in unison singing and praising Yahweh, singing His Word, and all these dozens and dozens of instruments playing together. And there were several different kinds. There was guitars, there was violins, there was flutes, there was drums. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. They also had, if you wanted to, you could go at 6 in the morning to your section leader's campground. They had like different sections, and our section leader was Mr. Hilton. So you could go to your section leader's campground and pray for an hour. And I really liked that too, just being with, it was such a quiet, peaceful time, and being with people and praying your hearts out to God. And we got to watch the sun rise over the lake, and it was gorgeous. It was just wonderful being able to pray like that with people in Yahweh's creation, and I loved that too. They had a playground there, like in the middle of the camp, and so most of the kids would always go there every day, and play Foursquare. We could play this basketball game that I don't know what it's called because I never play it. They had a playground. They also had a like volleyball court, so you could play volleyball. One day the guys played football in the mud. It was funny to watch. It was a really neat time to be able to get to see all these, like, a good, like, half of the kids, half of the people there were kids. And so it was really nice to be able to get to meet all these kids, and that was a really good way to get better acquainted with them, and I really enjoyed that too. And I became a master at Foursquare. But let's see, what else did they have? They had like several community meals where everybody pitched in, and you went through a line, you got your food, and you would sit like in circles, and you would get to fellowship with people and meet more people, and that was really neat. They were going to have baptisms in the lake, but since it was so cold, they didn't do that. So that would have been neat to see, but oh well. So we got to start counting the Omer. We had our Passover Seder. The Passover Seder was beautiful. We had short tables, like, not short tables, they were about yay big, and we were all sitting reclined. We had like sleeping bags and pillows and stuff laid out on the floor, and we were all sitting reclined and got to do the Seder, and that was neat. I've never done a Seder like that before, so I really enjoyed that. They also had, trying to think, what else did they have? They had a market. The market was cool. There was, like, my dad set up there with some decorations he welded, and he welded these two really cool menorahs, and we had some honey we were selling for a friend. And so we were set up there, and it was neat seeing what else other people had. Like, one family had a menorah made out of wood. I think it said, like, Yod He Vav He. And there was this one girl that would paint shoes, and they were amazing. I definitely want to order some. But she would paint shoes, and she would put, like, Hebrew lettering on them and stuff. It was so cool. They had a musician there. They were right next to us, Teshuva. We got their CD. There's different things like that. It was really cool to see what people had. And so I really enjoyed that too. I don't think there's really anything else worth mentioning. Oh, they had a Hebrew class. It wasn't really like a teaching class, but there was several people there who could speak Hebrew pretty much fluently, and so they were having like conversations back and forth, and they had an interpreter there, and it was really neat to be able to hear it spoken, just blah, 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 and I loved it. It was really cool. They also had this guy, his name was Avidor. He's one of the vineyard owners in Israel, and they had him come there, I think, like Thursday or Friday, so he was only there for the very end. But I got to meet him, and he was amazing. I loved hearing him talk and hearing the passion he had for the vineyards. It was wonderful. And I loved being there and hearing the passion that pretty much everybody there had for Israel, how much everybody loves Israel and loves Yahweh's people, and it was just amazing. I loved it. But I think that's about it about Family Week. It was definitely amazing. Everybody who's watching this should go. It was wonderful. Definitely want to go back next year. But aside from that, I made this one shorter than my last one. Okay, aside from that, if you guys could pray for my dad, he has a new part-time job. He gets back from Ryder, which is his truck driving job, around 6. He's there from like 5, or he has to leave at like 5 in the morning, gets back around, he would get home around 6. But now he has this part-time welding job where he has to go there for 3 hours afterwards. So it's kind of hard for me because I don't get to see my daddy in the evenings, but I still get the weekends with him, so that's okay. But just pray that this job will work out and he'll be able to get paid just as much or more, preferably more, than he gets paid for his Ryder job, and that he'll be able to do this full time because he really wants to get out of his job. So just pray for that if you guys could. I'd really appreciate that. I know he would too. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know I kind of stuttered a lot, and I probably sound weird and look horrible, but I don't really care. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you will continue to look for my blogs and read my blogs, and I hope that you guys will comment and tell me if you liked the video better, or if you liked when I typed them out better, if you liked them both. Just tell me what you guys think and any opinions you had on anything, and I would absolutely love to hear your guys' feedback. So, without further ado, shalom.